Hi, I'm Lee Schilling. I've been a physician since the late 60s, early 70s, and it dawned on me about 4 years ago that what I was taught in med school is probably not the most important thing to help my patients. And so I did a lot of exploration and reading to, to learn as much as I could about what's important. We were very good at diagnosing and treating. We just didn't know how to prevent, and that's a much better approach, in my opinion. So I did 6 videos, and I'll just very, very briefly mention those. What you can see here is the 6 are how to live longer and better, chronic disease. 50% of the public spend the last years with a chronic disease. And one of the things that causes chronic disease is being overweight. And there's a video on that. There's also another video on diabetes and cancer. There are over 25% of the public who have diabetes but just don't know it. And diabetes you can learn a lot more about it on the video on diabetes. And also at the end of each video I list some books and videos that you can watch the videos online free, and mention a few other resources if you have an interest in this. So we'll just go through some of the slides to give you a sense of what it's going to be about in terms of the videos. And the first question is, how long and how well do you want to live? Everybody has a different answer, don't they? and I didn't realize this. I'd had a lot of education, but did not realize the importance of food. It doesn't get stressed much because the way it gets approached is to say, you ought to just drive through and get some fast food. Well, that may not be the best idea. And that's what we talk about, what would be a better idea. And what you can see here is there's certain things that just are associated with disease, and avoiding those things, if you know about them, results in better health. One of the videos talks a bit about how nutrition affects our bodies to make us healthy or make us unhealthy. Lifestyle is just about as important as nutrition, and we need to know about that. I mean, we've known about smoking for over 50 years, and yet 500,000 people, almost, not quite 500,000, but close to that, die each year from having smoked. And then if you're curious about what things really get us, I put a slide in one of the videos for that. And also about what's really important nutritionally and why. And then if, all I've done here is tell you what you shouldn't do. And one thing that I have found is that by switching to healthy foods, it is really, it presents a lot of variety. I'm eating things that I'd never experienced before, and it's fun and tasty. So what to eat tells you here, and then if you want to see what that looks like, we'll show you here. And you can eat very well and have tasty, good food and avoid getting heart disease. And one of our videos talks about this 44-year-old surgeon didn't realize he was in bad health and had a heart attack at work one day. And what did he do about it? Well, he accomplished a lot, and you can watch the video to find out. Obesity is associated with serious disease. Heart disease is serious. Diabetes is serious. And most people who are diagnosed with diabetes were overweight. when they got diagnosed. How to become your best person for controlling that is in that video on obesity. And we'll show stuff like this, what are calories, and also what you can see is that there's a little resistance to trying to push healthy food because it interferes with business. And then they have things like, oh, well, it's just way too extreme. Well, heart disease and diabetes are extreme. And then getting to the meat of some of these things, yeah, you can reverse diabetes, but it's better to prevent it. And we have a whole video on cancer, which is the second leading cause of death in the United States. And you can learn more about the various aspects of cancer. I mentioned we have some books and video recommendations, and this is an example of that. There's just a lot of important things to become aware of if you want to have the best life you can. And this is a typical lunch for me. And it really gives me a lot more variety than I used to have. Well, thanks for your attention. And if you're curious about these things, you can go online and find them. If you have questions that you'd like to have a video on, or if you have any kind of issues that you'd like discussed more and you'd like me to discuss them, just send me an email. I'll be happy to accommodate you. Thanks.